be any better if I say so myself. Now, we are in game. It is the first game of a best of 3. It's a Z versus Z. Let me introduce these two players. So, up in the top left position, we have got the pink Zerg player from My Insanity. It is DaNa. And his opponent down in the bottom right, it is the red Zerg from Team Evil Geniuses, Jaedong. Woo! Now, this is going to be an awesome series. I can just tell it now. Jaedong may try and end this out pretty quickly. We've seen it from a lot of players that, especially in ZVZ, sometimes you want to end them quickly. You don't want to go into the risk of things going longer. So things like quick speedling all in is on the cards. Alternatively, could just try and go into the Baneling Zergling phase, win on good micro, or maybe we'll get into the later stages where exciting things can be happening. But of course, since we've had a bit of downtime, I'm going to request a favor from all of you lovely people in the stream. Send out a tweet. Just send out a tweet saying you should come and check out @MadlsSC2 casting on the @GameSocial TV stream because Jaedong versus DaNa is going on. And that'd be awesome if you could all do that, and it would definitely make me very happy. And you want to make me happy, don't you? Because hopefully seeing these games is making you all happy. It's making me happy, so generally lots of smiles all around. But currently, as time is opening, Jaedong not going to be going for early aggression. He's just like, I'm going to go hatch first because I'm feeling brave. I'm feeling like I can win this, so that is what I'm going to do. Straight away checking that down, getting the gas straight after as well. Hatch gas pool, super economic focus. Just doesn't really care. Doesn't care about getting down that spawning pool, being safe or any of those silly things. That is not for an evil genius. An evil genius is all about getting down the best mid-game possible. DaNa, getting down pool, then into hatch, so a bit more of a straightforward, normal opening. The hatchery came down quite a bit later, so going to allow the potential for getting down a couple of extra drones. There's the gas getting started as well. So both these two seem to be playing, dare I say it, fairly normally, so nothing too crazy going on at the moment, and that's okay. Crazy stuff doesn't need to matter. And as this bracket currently stands, Jaedong is winning the group at the moment. He's currently got 2 wins, no losses. He hasn't dropped a single game because that is how boss he is. DaNa rather did 2-0 Munchie, but then went 0-2 to Neo Angel. So actually this game doesn't make a huge amount of difference to the rankings as far as I can tell. If DaNa wins this, then actually I think guarantees a second spot. But yeah, basically Munchie versus Neo Angel is probably going to be the decider, or at least most likely. So this is where things do start getting really interesting. It's game 3 from the group stage 2, so that just means that after this we will be going to a short break where I get to get some omnoms, and of course my lovely production team hopefully have ordered me pizza if they're feeling lovely, but probably not. I'm probably just going to be a starving caster. I'll sit there and have my bread and water because that's what it's like. But anyway, I am only kidding. We do have, of course, Spine Callers coming down here for DaNa. JD, he's getting down his Baneling Nest, perfectly happy. Baneling Nest now starting up for DaNa too. These two just happily sitting here being like, you know what, play it normal, play it safe. Let's see what we can get rolling. Both droning up quite nicely. Drone counts exactly equal. Supply count 1 difference. Only minor differences. And actually most of that is... Actually, I think the only thing was an additional Zergling is on the field. So it's not even a whole supply difference. It was half the supply difference. But clearly that cannot be shown on the overlays. Anyway, Baneling Nest is done now for JD. For DaNa, it's, well, nearly completed. Speed is going to be done for Jaedong sooner as well, so he's going to be able to put on some nice pressure. 12 more Lings coming out as well, so could actually be going for a good little bit of a shove here. And with this big Zergling push, especially up against DaNa going for the super fast lair, 6-minute lair, this could be devastating. The Overlord see this coming over. Now it's up to DaNa to pump out a couple more Lings, but unfortunately doesn't now have a lot of lava. 11 lava are there, can start spending that. There is no supply block, but the minerals just aren't available. There they are coming down. Baneling's morphing in. The Zerglings can just run straight in and start picking away at drones. So straight away we see that a lot of this is going to do a significant amount of damage. And yeah, Banelings do get a couple of good hits there. DaNa has held off this aggression at the moment, so this is good news for DaNa. And if the lair gets down, then of course that quick tech up could be problems, but it's actually cancelled, and so JD is ahead in terms of the lair timings, and that is when you start running into issues, because if DaNa could have got that secured, then obviously Mutalisk could potentially have come out. Zerglings are running in, though. DaNa gonna try and get some good damage. Nice Baneling hits coming down there, though. Mineral walking those drones straight through the queens, because that is just how it goes. And yeah, all in all, just sitting, running around. JD going to be able to clean out most of this. A lot of lings down on the field. The drone count currently sitting at 38 to 36 in DaNa's favor. So not a big difference, but in a mirror matchup, every worker really does count. And ZVZ probably one of the biggest noticeable factors is that if you do drone quite heavily, you are going to get less units down. So JD is getting some drones out, but of course DaNa are getting 12 more lings out on the field, trying to defend against this counter aggression that could be coming in. Banelings are not morphing yet for JD. He's just getting his spy down, trying to fake a bit of pressure coming in. The Banelings, 2 Banelings there, got to be careful. The lings are going to try and pick it off. 2 Zerglings are going to get forced away, though. The Baneling does still get sniped off. That's good for DaNa right there. And DaNa has to be careful. Another Baneling on 2 Zerglings. Not a good trade, but of course, JD, he's still keeping on the pressure. And while he keeps on that pressure, things are going to be good for him. Spires coming down on both sides, so the Spore Caller change clearly not deterring these 2 players from going up to Muta on Muta battles. And of course, Muta on Muta is where fun things can start happening, because it all comes down to a couple of key factors. First and foremost, who has the most Mutalisks? That's a pretty big deciding influence. Second, though, upgrades. +1 Flyer Carapace will come down first because it reduces the bouncing glaive damage more than +1 attack increases it. And thirdly, and this is something that some lower level players may not realize, if you have units underneath, so you've got the ground superiority under the fight, your ground units will soak up some of the glaive hits, reducing the splash damage. Those are the 3 big things in Muta on Muta that we've got to be keeping an eye out for. JD trying to take up his third, but DaNa taking the third base as well. Very similar timings. This game is surprisingly close. Jaedong has got a small advantage. Ooh, nice bailing hits there. Gotta be careful, Jaedong. You can't just go running in. But yeah, Jaedong does have the small advantage. And actually, whoa. He switched from Carapace to getting plus flyer attack. Interesting decision there, especially when the Spire is down for DaNa. A couple more bailing hits are going down. DaNa cleaning them out quite nicely, though. Only losing a couple of lings there. Jaedong has, I believe, seen that this hatch, that the Spire is down. Let me check. No, he hasn't seen the Spire. That's the critical thing. He doesn't know it's there. So, or does he? No, DaNa doesn't know. No, neither player knows the Spire's down. But can assume, because they haven't seen roaches. But +1 Flyer Carapace means that DaNa's Mutalisks can engage so ridiculously better than Jaedong's, and that's all down to the fact that the bouncing glaive decreases, it gets its damage decreased more than it is increased by armor rather than attack. So this means any Muta or Muta battle will favor the My Insanity player. Will Jaedong be able to overcome that, though, with ground superiority? Well, as things stand, the work count is in Jaedong's favor, 54 to 45. He's got his third up and that 5th and 6th gas geyser. That's a critical thing because he's mining about 100 more gas a minute. And on Muta fights, gas is the important thing to get that flock up a little bit larger. 13 Mutas up against 9, though, at the moment. DaNa spent a lot more, 6 on the way out for Jaedong. If DaNa moves in now, when there aren't any queens, he's going to be able to do a good bit of damage. He's also picking off overlords quite nicely, while keeping a bit of overlord coverage on the map himself, being very aggressive for the moment. A couple of overlords getting sniped down here, and there's just no response from Jaedong at the moment. Could lose another overlord if he's not careful, and that would have supply blocked him. So lucky to keep that one up with literally 8 health points. If that had gone down, it would have been a supply block for the Evil Geniuses player, which wouldn't have been too fun. Plus missile attack, plus flyer attack, well, that is just about to complete. So in come the Mutalisks now. They are going to go on the offensive. 16 to 19 in favor of DaNa still, though. So that means that DaNa probably can engage this, especially when his +1 Carapace kicks in. He will have the small advantage in terms of the supply. That is something that's going to be really good. So all in all, +1 Flyer Carapace getting research now from Jaedong. He's getting out some more Mutalisks. The third base is up and running on both sides. Jaedong a small supply advantage, coming mainly from the fact that he's got 62 drones to 50. Better income. Gas income is identical, but here we go. The Muta fight is going down. Jaedong winning this engagement at the moment, but the +1 Carapace is really helping out in the later stages. Now the ground army has pretty much gone. DaNa has also got Zerglings there. Who is winning in the Mutalisk count? Well, Jaedong's is down to just 8. Reinforcements coming in here for DaNa as well. Transfuse is trying to go down here for Jaedong, but he's losing his Mutaflock. 11 still up, and of course the critical mass of Mutalisks starts really showing when you engage. Jaedong not able to take that fight due to not having the +1 Carapace and rather +1 Flyer attack. Now, so many Overlords are going to go down. Huge damage being done here by DaNa, and the My Insanity player getting himself into a really good spot, going straight for the drone line now, knowing that there's not any Spore Callers here, knowing there's not any Queens. However, Jaedong counter-attacking with some Zerglings into the third base of DaNa. A couple of Queens getting taken out here from the Mutalist. This game is just aggression everywhere, trying to get most of the damage done. But of course, 18 Mutalists up against 8 at the moment in DaNa's favor. DaNa just picking apart the drones, able to come and defend this. Jaedong is not in a good position. He's down in supply, down in the work account, and GG's out. My Insanity's DaNa wins game 1 against Evil Genius's Jaedong.